Hey there, thank you for stopping by. This week I'm going to be adding some carving to a cherry bowl. Stick around, we'll get started. Okay, it's setup here is a little bit complex, but the first thing I need to do is to mark out where the flutes are going to be on this bowl. So let me go over the contraption I've got set up here. I've got the bowl mounted in a Longworth chuck, and that is mounted in my Stronghold 4-jaw chuck. And behind that I've got an indexing plate set up with a pin so that I can mark it as it comes around for 16 different sections. In my tool rest I took you guys can see it in that camera, a bit of dowel, turned it down so that it would fit in my banjo, and glued a piece of plywood to it that sort of matches the profile of the bowl. So what I'll do now is get the indexing set into the first pin, first location, and let me grab a pencil, and I will hold the pencil flat to the platform as I move it around to mark out the location for the flutes. We should get fairly straight, fairly even lines all the way around. So now it's just a matter of moving the pin, moving to the next location. Oops, you get it. Right location. And repeat. So I will be back once I've got all of these marks lined out, and then we'll take it over to the bench and talk about the carving tools.
Lather, rinse, and repeat. Always repeat.
And that is that. Go ahead and take the bowl out of the chuck. It wasn't really mounted in here to turn, so I didn't squeeze it too tightly. I just want to make sure it was fairly centered. So before we go over to the bench and start carving it, a word about this bowl. I'd originally turned it very thick because my wife was needing a dough bowl. She was kind of going through a phase where she was making a lot of homemade bread, and she needed a bowl where she could punch the dough down and then leave it set and then punch it down again. And apparently this one was just a little bit too small, so this one got relegated to a back shelf. But it's very thick, so there should be plenty of material to deal with carving. And actually, I just remembered something I wanted to do. I'm going to mount it back up here for a second. I'm going to mark a line all the way around it to kind of frame the bottom section. So like to leave a little foot. And let me bring this back up. And I want to make it, let's say about like that. All right, that'll do. All right, let's go over to the bench and we'll look at carving. Okay, so let's get to carving. I don't think I mentioned it when I was putting the lines on, but I actually, when I set the platform up to make the lines straight across, I actually made sure that it was slightly above center, which will give just a slight twist to these to the lines. So it's just real subtle. It shouldn't be really noticeable, but it will add a little bit of visual interest. So for carving, I've got a Fordham with just a round burr. I'm left-handed, so I'll actually be running it in reverse. got dust collection and a mask. So I'll flip on the dust, excuse me, the dust collector before I start, and put a dust mask on just in case. So let me do that, and I will get started. As far as the pattern, I'm just going to kind of cut a furrow and make a scallop. It'll be shallower at the bottom than it is at the top. It's a big thick rim on this bowl, so I should have plenty of room to play with. Give me a second. Give myself an extra light, and I'll see you when I'm done, or at least once I've got it roughed out.
Eight hours later.
Okay, I've got the ribs roughly turned, or roughly carved. So I'm going to switch to the smaller bird that I actually started with, and go back to it, and kind of refine some of it, go all the way to the line, make these center ribs a little sharp, and then once I do that, I'll start with sanding. So here we go.
The following Thursday.
Okay, so I got it sanded, and I went ahead and put on a coat of Triple E because that's what's on the inside. And I grabbed a small buffing wheel on a cordless drill and buffed it up to kind of raise the shine. I think you guys can see the shine if I hold it the right way. Yeah, there we go. So, came out pretty good. My wife said that it has a very organic feel to it, like it wants to be held. The scallops aren't straight; they weren't intended to be, and they're not even like a consistent curve. It kind of goes in and out. It's more of a knuckle than a rib, but I think it works. Doesn't clash too badly with the beautiful piece of cherry. Thanks for sticking with me since you seem to have made it this far. I try to put out one of these about every week or so. If you want to get notified the next time I publish one, go ahead and hit subscribe and ring that little bell. You'll get an email the next time I publish a video. Tell me what you think. Drop me a comment. If you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up. Let me know you're out there. Take care. We'll see you next time.